All right, we're live. What's up, Stefan? How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's up? Hey, we're gonna have all weekend with each other almost, right? Just a heads up.
I'm well aware. I'm really excited. You're the other part of my solar pups back to back. Super stoked to keep going with you, my friend. And then we also have the almighty DarKal, Hussein. How you doing,
Hey
buddy?
everyone, I'm doing very well. Hey Jimbo, hey Stefan, so good
Hey,
to
what's
be
up,
here with
Hussein?
you. All's
Um,
good.
you
Calling
let me
from
know you're
Dubai.
broadcast. Oh, I was gonna say you're broadcasting from a special place.
Have you been?
I have not. It is really high up there on my bucket list. What is Dubai like right now?
It's less hot than a week ago, so it's becoming a little bit fair. 22 degrees today. So winter has started in Dubai. That's what winter is like, 22 degrees.
Oh
So
my
it's good
gosh.
temperature. Great beaches. I worked from a Starbucks on the freaking beach. It's incredible.
That
I'll
sounds
post
like
some
it
photos.
sucks.
No, why?
I'm just kidding. No, I think you're
Well,
just trying to copy my style.
nobody can copy your style, my friend. You are
Oh,
uncopyable,
stop
the
it.
amazing Jimbo.
Man, I'm so stoked to have both these projects. Obviously, Stefan, you've done this rundown before, showcasing your awesome tool. So we'll start it off with Hussein giving us just kind of. I know most people in the audience here are pretty familiar, so you can just do a real high level just overview of what Crypto Pharaohs is. I know that's going to be hard because it's an intricate project for those that don't know. And then we're going to dive into some of the new stuff you got going on, and I'm very excited to talk about it. So give it away to you, my friend.
Thank you. Crypto Pharaohs is the unfolding of the real story of what happened to the pharaohs after Egypt is gone. We've been lied to. They told us they're gone. They haven't. They went to the Cryptoverse, and they're very much alive. And we have the scoop, and we have the story, the unfolding story within comics, with digital collectibles. So we love the pharaohs, love ancient Egypt. This is the place you want to be.
I love that you said the real story. Like it is a real story. Where you're describing it, you're creating it, watching it unfold live in action. Now, we lately I've been noticing. Wait, you had a wheel? Was it a wheel yesterday? You had your wheel event. Can
Yes.
you talk a little bit about how your wheel events have been going? Because I've seen them everywhere. A lot of promotion for them.
Yeah, well, we want to always create a sense of joy for our community, citizens and visitors. The world is filled with shitty stuff happening, let's put it this way. So we want to create joy, and the joy of giving people the ability to collect stuff, to enjoy with the community, to play games. That's what the Wheel of Pharaohs are. Just like when you live in a real community, you know how people get together every month, there's some sort of event, a wedding or something. That's what it is. And what we do is you by engaging in the community, you earn Unk points. So the more you have fun, the more you earn Unk. Unk is our Discord currency. And when you earn Unk, you buy tickets to the event. And with every ticket, you get a chance to win Flow, you win Crypto Pharaohs. When we collaborate with projects, you earn as well. Let's say you win some of the projects tokens as well. So that is what the event is all about. It's about continuing to have fun between events, buying your ticket to the event, attending the event, and enjoying, winning. And that's our new approach. We want to find ways to get people to own crypto pharaohs without having to pay money. It sounds like antithesis of what a profitable, successful project needs to be. We believe differently, and we want to spread that sense of joy everywhere.
You know, I hate to say I'm biased, but I would agree, man. Giving the people something fun to do. I don't need to keep playing the same record, but truthfully, you are that project leader that keeps it going. With Zaya really crushing it as a community manager, and you really do always have something for people to do. It is overwhelming. Like I was just telling someone the other day about your Discord. I was like, their Discord is pretty much gamified already. I was like, aside from the fact that it's on Discord, like it's its own world, and you can genuinely get lost in it. I want to talk a little bit about. Obviously, we have the pharaohs and the cats. And then I'm just curious. I know you shared a bunch in our last AMA that was just like so overwhelming, like in a great way, with the comic, with the story. Can we talk a little bit about what's on your plate in the upcoming near future?
Yeah, so I'm gonna drop a few. Of course, I cannot have it where we don't, so I'll do that so that the members here can enjoy as well. We have what's coming right now. We have first we have the eternal names. So what happened is names have hold a lot of power, and the pharaohs, the ancient pharaohs, discovered that they can't leave those names loose. So when you call somebody's name, that's why you call, let's say, a god's name. You can channel their power through you if you have the right, let's say, spell. So they realize that's a really, really powerful thing, and they can't just let it be in the world. So what they did is they locked those names in either stone, written, and the Crypto Pharaohs continue that tradition. So they lock the most powerful names. They continue to find them, and they lock them in something called the eternal names. And those are the things that this is the next collection that are coming in. And when you collect an eternal name, you will be able in the near future to upgrade your pharaoh and to have access to changing how your pharaoh looks like. So that is something that's coming. And the avatar gods, obviously, that we're releasing as well, which is a very, very limited collection of epic artwork. And the final thing that we are launching very soon is the Anubis Army. Anubis Army is an initiative where you do great work in the real world, and then your work is evaluated by the early Anubis Army who started doing that. And if you're selected, you join the Anubis Army and you get Crypto Pharaohs as a reward. So what we want to do is we want to spread. Here, Zaya dropped some artwork. Thank you, Zaya, for helping me. So I dropped some of the artwork. This is Anubis, the Avatar God. And one thing that is super exciting, we are participating. I think we are I don't like these, but I think we are effectively the first project of its kind to participate in an actual Comic-Con-like event. So we are in PopCon Middle East, which is the largest pop culture exhibition of its kind in the region. So we are there, and what we're going to do is we have a booth. We are a major partner, and we're showcasing Crypto Pharaohs, and we're launching something really exclusive then. So a ton is happening.
There's nothing that gets me more excited than seeing a Flow project represented at a conference. We are just talking about this genuinely. I was just talking about this concept of hosting events in different cities for the Flow leaders, and I just pictured you doing exactly what I was hoping for, which is just showcasing the amazing artwork, storyline, future, utility, all like just world, right? The Cryptoverse. And it's just like, I think that's so cool that you're doing it at a convention. Is this going to be the first convention or anything like that you've had a chance in real life to promote at?
Yes. Well, yes, I think, yes, this is the first convention of its kind. And I think because it's a comics based event, and there are some amazing celebrities that are attending. I'll post the image there, or maybe Zaya, you can help me with that. This is you will see like people from Star Wars, from the Game of Thrones, and the House of Dragons. Like you have some A-list celebrities that are attending, and you have there's a lot of everything is about comics, and you know that comics are core to our project and Crypto Pharaohs. So Next Decentrum, which is our company, is a partner there, and we're launching something really big on our platform as well at the time.
I literally, I got chills when you said just like all the celebrities going to be there, and imagining Crypto Pharaohs finally getting the recognition it deserves for all the hard work you put in. I think it's catchy. I think people are going to like it and be drawn to it for sure.
Thank
I
you.
am definitely curious when you said a couple things. Obviously, I want to talk about changing the avatar. What do you mean by that? Is that something you can go into? Is this going to be like a trait thing, or
Yeah.
how's that looking?
Well, what we want to do, the story goes. So to explain how we go about, let's say, building Crypto Pharaohs and evolving Crypto Pharaohs, we are always coming together and discovering the story of Crypto Pharaohs. So not sure how, let's say, some people write in a certain way, but a lot of writers, they follow the characters, and the character story unfolds. And the same way, we are actually following how Crypto Pharaohs characters are evolving and unfolding. So this came up from, let's say, from the brainstorming that we had and exploring the story, and we found out that Crypto Pharaohs, first, they cannot go through the gateway between our world and the Cryptoverse, because it requires a lot of energy. It's very exhaustive to their bodies. So except for demigods, regular pharaohs and viziers, they can't do that. So for you to, let's say, move them to your world, that's why they look like, tokens on a phone, because that's how they are exist in our world. But in their world, they're real life characters. So in order to create that, you need power, and that power comes from pharaoh cats and eternal names. So you have to unlock the power of eternal names, and combined with owning a pharaoh cat, or several pharaoh cats along with your pharaoh, in order to give them the power to become that being that can transfer to this world, and that they look a certain way. So that is how it goes. We're building the software that allows you to do that. And so when you own a combination of the eternal names, that will unlock, let's say, the certain features that you can move the Crypto Pharaoh to our world. And that is the idea. And this is also ongoing with the idea of Crypto Pharaohs protecting our world, fighting the war against Anubis, Apophis, which he creates evil, and we see it every day. We see it through climate change. We see it through the corporations, the evil corporations, dominating our world. We see it with right-wing politicians. We see those manifesting, and we need to fight against it. So this is the combination, the overlaying of the story with real life events. And the whole point is to have people, have a layer of fantasy, to kind of to see the world through, and also drive people to notice these kind of, let's say, phenomenons, and do something about it. So it's enjoyment plus driving action in the real world. That's how we're doing it. I don't know if we mentioned that, or is it becoming popular. We are moving towards making acquiring any of the Crypto Pharaohs, let's say, collection, and a function of you doing work in the real world. There's no way to acquire them other than that. Like, there will be ways where you can buy them from the secondary market, but if you want to acquire them from the primary market, there's no grinding on Discord. There's no whitelist. What you have to do is you have to do good work in the real world, either by helping your community, or contributing to the betterment of mental health, or raising, local cultural heroes, like, artists, like people who are doing to spread the culture and connect people. By doing these things, you earn your place among the citizens, and you earn your pharaoh. So that is how we're approaching that.
It's so funny, like, not funny, but ironic that you went right into that, because that was my next question, was to talk more about that. That's really cool. And I'm curious, like, this is just so cool to see all this stuff come to fruition when we used to have these talks back when of, all the things that could be put on chain. And this is a form of that award, right? Whether it's, an accomplishment, an achievement, like you said, paying it forward, stuff like that. Like, that's so cool that you could have something to show for that. And also just get lost in that fantasy world, which is just incredible to me. I guess my next question would be, obviously, building something so intricate as this Cryptoverse. Are you dabbling with VR, AR, or 3D or anything like that, or is it just focused on the other aspects, or is that something that's in your near future as well?
In VR, AR, no, I would say we are building something that is in the 3D, in 3D, so that can translate well. Of course, the challenge is always getting to a point where there is enough, let's say, resources to do that. And this is not an area of expertise of ours. We are storytellers first. Everything else is a function of us collaborating with others. So, for example, if you look, I just dropped, let's say, some of the eternal names that are coming. These are built in 3D, and I'll share. I'm trying to download some of those so that I can show you. And we are building the, let's say, the Crypto Pharaohs in 3D right now. It's an enormous amount of effort that goes into it. There's a lot of intricate. Obviously anybody who probably looks at Crypto Pharaohs will notice, hopefully, that we take a lot of care in our attention to detail. So everything that we do has a lot of passion, has a lot of detail, has a lot of, let's say, drive behind it. And we have on our team, 1, 2, 3, I always fail the counting. We have like 6 artists on our team. I don't think there's any other company in this let's say space that have artists. These are not, let's say, contracted artists that we work with them when we need to. These are on our payroll. These are artists on our payroll that we work with day in, day out. They're part of our team. They are the artists behind the work. Some work focused on comics, some on Avatar Gods, and so on and so forth. So we are an art and culture tech company, with art and culture coming first. And that's our commitment towards, because you need the space to create something that is great. You need time, you need energy, and that is what drives us. So yeah, it's a ton of work. We are doing tests. I'll drop some work here. It is not easy, especially in that space. Everything that you do in illustration takes, let's say, 5 times, if not 10 times, the amount of work to do it in 3D, and to do it well in 3D, not so that it doesn't look, like bad 3D. So here are some of the items. Let's say this is let's say tests that we're doing with the characters. We are taking a lot of care with the fashion.
Sheesh! Oh my lord! Sorry, what? These are sick. Wow.
Thank you.
That's really cool, man. I appreciate this alpha. I hope people are looking at the chat right now. That is high level. So that's what you are all working on right now.
Yes. This has been a work going on in the background for it's been, I think, 4 or 5 months in the making, and we try and this is the latest Avatar God illustration. I'm just dropping that just to give you, let's say, how it looks, and it's just a lot of fun, and I can't wait to put it in the hands of our community. And I think our citizens and visitors have been extremely patient, and we appreciate that. It's very hard because we want to get things out, but also we want to create enough joy and want to create enough quality. And I think there is, we want to be that point between, we want to be a very successful project. What our benefit is this project is a showcase to the key skills of our company. So we have the space to be able to create work and not worry about, making money right away. I hope our investors are not hearing.
Yeah. I know that keyword of profit, right? Like and we talked about this earlier. We had great talks with the Asoba DeFi, the creator. He basically, we were saying, like, it's not profit that's the issue. It's the amount that's being reinvested into the idea. Too much has been siphoning off the top of profit to give profit a bad name. Profit is the goal, so you can create more, and that's really where a lot of that corruption has happened, where we look at profit like it's a bad thing, and myself included. I don't ever want to come across saying like I hate profit. I don't want to profit. That profiting is deeper than money, and at times as well. It's just whatever you come out with on the other end, you got to reinvest. And I feel like you've done a great job with that of consistently going forward, and exploring new things. And so I had a quick question for you. Obviously you have a draw to Egyptian culture. I guess a leading question would be more: are there any other cultures that you have like a huge draw toward? I know it's a huge draw toward Egyptian culture. So I'm just curious if you ever, had some these interest in other cultures that kind of took your attention.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for that. And just a quick note on that. Yeah, profit is not bad. On the contrary, we want to be profitable. I think profit is a function of you doing great things. And I would rather, profit is an elusive thing because it doesn't just depend on you, it depends on market conditions, it depends on the timing, there's a luck factor in it. But something that is in your control is the work that you do. So we're focusing on what's in our control. What's in our control is doing great work, working with great people, building a brilliant community, servicing and working with our citizens and we call them citizens and visitors to make it an enjoyable experience. That's our legacy. So somebody can point at. I would rather somebody point at our project and say, "I wish this project, let's say, if it let's say ever doesn't continue, which I doubt because we have amazing drive to it and we're doing it regardless." Somebody would point out and say, "Yeah, they did great work. They weren't profitable, but they did great work," as opposed to, "Well, they made a lot of money, but they had, let's say, shitty work or
Right,
like they're
right,
just
yeah,
another project."
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, no, total,
Yeah.
100%. I would think that there's no doubt in my mind. The focus you've had and what your goals have been haven't really changed, right? Providing
Yeah.
awesome utility in the form of entertainment,
Thank
and
you.
obviously,
Thank you.
the theme of this kind of this party is coming out of winter. We're coming out of winter. Ironically enough, going into winter for most people, but we're coming out of winter, and I describe this to people in Hawaii. It gets really hot, and trust me, I'm not complaining about the weather in Hawaii. But for the summer, it's really hot. So as we go into winter, this is like our prime. This is like the good time. So I'm like comparing it to that. We're coming out of the crypto winter. With that being said, Hussein, is like you've been plotting, you've been planning, you've been enacting all in the background. What is something that you feel that you're doing specifically, or you plan to do, that's really going to prepare for the hopeful / inevitable end of winter when we onboard millions of more users? What's that going to look like for Crypto Pharaohs?
Yeah, and I think this dovetails with the question that you asked that I didn't answer yet, which is my love for culture. What is in it for us is collaboration. I haven't known about a culture that I didn't like yet, and I mean from an art and culture perspective. There are definitely toxic cultures in general, but I mean like the human culture and accumulation of human knowledge, art, art, expression. I think we can't have enough of that. I'm in love with every time I learn about something, it's so fascinating. I've been in love with art. For those who probably know or don't know, I've always loved art. I was actually between going to art school and going to engineering school. I ended up going to engineering because we were poor and didn't have a computer, and I wanted to see a computer and work on a computer in real life. At the time, it was 286. If anybody knows what that is, if you're old enough. Always loved art, been in love with Picasso, Dali for most of my life, and want to allow people to spread it. So the what we're focusing on is collaboration. So our work with Flowscore falls in line with that. We're preparing more work with projects on Flow, not just because we're on Flow, but because really there are some amazing projects and some amazing project leaders. We are reaching out to other worlds as well and other blockchains. We want to collaborate, and we think with collaboration, what happens is just like when a team, I can't do anything. Like while I love these artworks and I'm the creative director working directly with these artists to drive that artwork and get it to for you the way you see, but these artists are incredible, and they without their ability and without their vision we wouldn't be here. So from the
Say it
first, let's say,
louder.
artwork.
Say it louder for the people in the back Hussein.
Thank you. I mean, listen, Melissa was the first artist that we worked with. She created those great Crypto Pharaohs that we started with. Anthony is the one who's creating Avatar Gods. Sorry, Antonio is the one creating the Avatar Gods. Diego is creating the comics. We have Christian in the background, Michael. Like we have, and Juan is the one who creating the 3D work. Without their capabilities, their drive and passion, and without them being excited about the project, we wouldn't be here. So artists for me are great. I think of myself as somewhat of an artist. I do draw all the time. I do create. I sometimes share, like some very rarely on site, but I prefer to be creative director. And I think coming back to our what's next is collaborating with these projects. Like for example, we were stuck trying to figure out the rarity, and then here comes Flowscore and figured out a beautiful way of presenting rarity, exciting way. They're creating also community around that. It's not just a measurement tool. They're creating community. They're helping you, connect based on that leaderboard. So it's great to have that because we don't have to build everything on our own, and we probably would suck with that. So, and we don't even see the vision. It's not just really about their capability. It's about when somebody else walks into the room, there's a different vision. Collaborating with you, and this is not, while I love to suck up to you because you are awesome, but it's not about that. It's mostly about you bring a different feel to events, and instead of trying to mimic and trying to create a bad version of that feel, why don't we work with you to create events that bring joy and happiness? We follow the same thing, or we live what we say, and that's, I think, very important in life, is that you live the words that you say. You live your beliefs. We believe in community, and therefore the leader of the project right now is member of the community. Zaya came from the community. We noticed him. We noticed how he is a natural, I would say, catalyst in the community. People kind of congregated around him, and we said all we did is we went out of the way and say, hey, you're doing this, you love it, why don't you do this full time? He's an engineer as well, so happens, and he's doing it right now full time. We have members of the community who are suggesting, we want to do poker, we want to do this. Great. This is the whole point about a community, is that the community takes the lead. You notice even me, I'm like sometimes not in the community for a while, not because I can't be there, but because I'm doing the work that is supporting the community in real life and working with the artists. And I trust that the community is congregating. They don't need me every once in a while. I'm not the activator there. They're active on their own. So I think that is the key. That is key, is live your truth. I talk a lot about collaboration. So if I want to live the truth of that word, we are always collaborating. So what's next is collaborating to make our roadmap a real reality, to accelerate the path to putting more value in the hands of our citizens and visitors, and to grow Crypto Pharaohs, to help grow the community. We don't want to win over anyone. We want to win with everyone else that is doing great work.
I genuinely appreciate the kind words, man. It would just be a reflection right back to you because, when I got into this space myself, I wanted to find how I could help the most. You know what I mean? And that was always my goal is, I want to help the most, whether it's a single project, whether it's, the platforms, whether it's myself just interviewing people and having fun. And the idea that I could do it at least part-time and be able to subsidize my bills and my rent and stuff like that. This is what I've been hoping for so long. So without projects like you and all these other projects that jump on these parties, without that support, it wouldn't be possible. So I genuinely appreciate that a ton. And going forward, as we keep going with these communities, you talk about collaboration, Hussein. This is the coolest part about my view, is I've gotten to view all of these projects from the outside this whole time, right? And the trends from 2021 to now, they've shifted from the creation of the first layers, the creation of the community, had to back on the community this entire winter and just keep building the community, keep them happy, keep them strong. And now I have this, not even a feeling, it's reality of we're on that next stage of creation where all these projects are creating not only their own content and their own storylines, and then V2s and threes, but they're creating tools as they do that so that other projects in the future and in the present can use them. So all of these projects, yourself included, have these external tools that other projects can use, and I just think that that is the definition of collaboration, and why Flow is, I think, such a special machine to watch be built.
I agree. And we are joined with a great Flow project with Stefan here. I think that's one of the. I mean, we keep discovering great people on Flow, and they've been extremely helpful for us. And I talk about how they have built something because they wanted to. I mean, they probably Stefan can talk better about this, but they built something really cool, really well done, and the best thing about it is seeing it from a project perspective. It was a refreshing thing where our project is very intricate in regards to the details and the data that is included in each of the collectibles. There are so many traits, and it was a joy to work with a project that says, yeah, we will work however your needs are, and that was refreshing. Honestly, we struggled with, because we have a particular way of doing things, and they were very flexible, very, very cool to work with. So shout out to them, and of course go to our what do you call a booth or section on the
Tent. I don't know why.
Discord
I genuinely don't know
tent.
why I call them project tents with you guys, but
Yeah,
it just stuck, and I feel
it's a
like they're
project
little
tent.
tents, and you want to
Okay,
go camping, you know?
okay. Absolutely. So go to our project tent, and there's a giveaway happening right now for that. So join the giveaway, and hopefully you get one.
Yeah, appreciate you, Hussein. I just have one last question for you to segue over to Stefan. He's too good looking. He can just wait over on the sideline and just let us have our time. But the last thing I want to ask you, just I want to end on a little philosophical note, because again, you're one of my. I'm so lucky. This party's been filled with some of my most favorite philosophical creators out there. It's actually just like a question about what you're doing and why you're doing it, but in a specific realm of like, do you feel that this is going to help change the way the world works, like the some of the logic you're using and the goals you hope to achieve?
I think yes, I do. I wouldn't be doing that if I didn't think so. I think we started with, honestly, we want to fight evil in the real world, and we have no freaking we had no freaking clue how to do that. Like, how do we do? I hate that call NFT project, because it's not. It's actually like an art and culture project. NFT is just the one of the tech components. But anyway, we wanted to fight evil in the real world. I am very obsessed with, helping people around me, and in such a way. And sometimes I shy away from saying that, but I think enough people need to say that. We live as human beings, as communities, and we love to help people around us. It's just, I think people don't get enough opportunities, and they don't know how. So I'm obsessed with doing that, and I wanted to do something to help with the challenges that our world is facing. And I know I can't go work for the World Food Program. I can't work for the UN, not because of anything, but because that's not how I contribute. So what best I can contribute? This is what I love to do. How can I? Because if I want to do something, I want to have the energy to do it forever. So I love creating these kind of stuff. I love being creative director. I love to create and innovate and lead teams and stuff like that. So how can I do that, and the same way add value? So that was the quest. That was what we wanted to do, and we stumbled our way through. First we pay a lot of respect, and we are very immensely grateful for the people that support us first, that paid for very expensive for our collectibles to help make the project a reality, because that gave us like, hey, this project can make money, so that justifies that existence. But then what we were obsessed with how can we add value, how can we create, and we followed the stories of the characters, and that's what led us here. So if there's anything, I think what we want to do is continue on that quest of making the world a better place, with our community, not on our own. I can't do anything on my own. So with our community, by inviting community, and the community has responded. If you're wondering about that, go to our Discord and ask about Anubis Army. Anubis Army are the people who said, we called them, we did a test. We said, hey, you're team A, we called them Mission Possible. Mission Possible 1, Mission Possible 2, Mission Possible 3. You're focused on mental health, you're focused on community, you're focused on art and culture. Apophis is attacking us, is attacking the world and trying to make us forget our culture and on human history, so make us disconnected. Apophis is attacking our mental health, making it stressful so that people snap at each other, hurt each other. Apophis is making us disconnected, so we're not a community. So you're demanded to showcase that, and the community responded. They created YouTube videos, they shared. It was like, that's awesome. This is an experiment we can now perpetuate across the community. So this is something we're launching soon. We brought the teams to be one, and they will be the judges and the evaluators of the work. So you do work in the real world, you submit it, Anubis Army evaluate, and if it rise up to something that's worth a reward, you get rewarded with a Crypto Pharaoh. You'll get rewarded with a Pharaoh Cat, and you become part of the Anubis Army. And you get rewarded. Avatar gods will not be bought. A section of the Avatar god, I think third, we dedicated to 111, will be given to selected in the Anubis Army. So you do great work in the real world, you earn one of these handcrafted, one-of-a-kind artwork that you're seeing. That is what's at stake. And you can imagine creating 333 artworks like this. That's a massive feat. So it's a long journey. That's a long spiel, but yes, absolutely. We think we can change the world. We are one of the people that are doing great things in the way we know how, by storytelling, creating joy, and bringing community together. And we hope we make a dent in that. If we make an inch dent, it's better than nothing. That's the legacy we want to leave. And thank you for giving the opportunity for me to share that.
You know, the wise words from a revolutionary, straight up. So I appreciate it, man. I'm so glad our paths cross, and we'll continue to cross. I definitely want to jump over to Stefan. We got plenty of time too, so so be it. I do have to sneak in just one little tidbit, not really a question, but I want to throw it in your ear. Other cultures, something possibly using the roadmap you've laid out. Do you see this being a possibility? Like, obviously, I'm super biased, and I'm over here in the Hawaiian culture that is just so incredible of a story itself, and the stories that they have. Is that something you've ever thought of? Is allowing some kind of template or some kind of a side roadmap to express the same love and passion for other cultures?
Yeah, the way we're doing it is by collaborating with other projects. We can't, there are so many cultures out there, so we can't be the only project working on that. So the way we're doing it is through collaboration. That is the simple answer. Now, will we stumble on other things? If Crypto Pharaohs stumble on other things, where they already are into other universes, so who knows? We're already working with one very interesting project that is coming very soon. I can't wait to drop. This is something I can't drop yet. But some of our fans will know. One of the top projects, one of the top projects on Flow is going to be showcased in our upcoming comic. We're going to release November 10th. Keep an eye on that date. And November is when we launch Crypto Pharaohs. So we are a year old now. So it's a big month for us, and there will be a ton of releases in this month. So keep an eye on that. Coming very, very soon.
Woo, can't wait to fire it up with you again next time, Hussein. Always a pleasure. I'm sure you might be butting into a couple of these questions I have for Stefan. But Stefan, I want to introduce you. Say what's up to my my buddy that I was very out of place in a New York party with one
time. Thanks, Jimbo. Hey, I want to listen more to Hussein. Hussein, I like the voice. I like the presentation. So I really enjoyed.
It's genuinely always a pleasure to talk to that guy.
And by the way, Hussein, I started on the 486, so I feel where it came from. Where it started from with the 286. Yeah, Jimbo. The party. Where do you want me to start today? I know we talk a lot all the time. Do you want me to give a little overview or about Flowscore, and then we can go.
Of course, yes. Absolutely. Let's get the little lowdown on Flowscore of what it is, where it began, and we'll kind of piece ourselves to the journey up to here.
All right, cool. Yeah. So Flowscore really started. So we also launched Sneakerhood, which is a sneaker inspired project on Flow, where we're pretty much similar to Crypto Pharaohs. We had actually some sidekicks, which were actually little meerkats that were armored with body pieces that were made out of leftover sneaker pieces that were actually also in a way fighting evil. In our case, was actually like digital bots that were taking over the sneaker market by just like buying sneakers, and actually the sneaker collectors never got the sneakers. So we created kind of like that community, that unit of sidekicks as we called them, and that really became the essence of Sneakerhood, and we built like a really great community around that. Jimbo, you remember we did that during the downfall of the crypto world, right? In May, so it was a very interesting time. Like our Discord was a battleground on that day, and yeah, and then it was really about like the next step, right? And it was kind of like an inflection point. What do we really do next? And we didn't feel it set right to just like release more content at that point, right? And we really want to look at something that can become like a value to our community, but also somewhat becomes like a unifier for Flow, right? We did have a lot of dedication. We met, including yourself, a lot of great souls that worked really hard from a financial standpoint, from just the time investment on that. And we really felt like we had a really, and obviously a lot of us met in real life as well, which was amazing, right? And we really had like a bond where we felt like we have to kind of start something that hopefully like unifies everybody that's still willing to build and ready to go for more. And we started with Flowscore kind of as an internal tool for the sneaker community, right? Because we really wanted to provide people like a way to actually see what their assets truly mean within a greater scheme. Like if you actually like got a particular asset, have a deeper exploration. Honestly, the first idea actually came from like almost like the fashion world of like having a lookbook, right? Like when a fashion brand releases a lookbook, they actually show like, this is our season, this is what the pieces are, this is what they're made from, that's what they're about, right? So Flowscore initially was really like a deeper exploration of what we created, because like Hussein just talked about, a lot of time, a lot of storytelling, a lot of artwork gets into that, and we really wanted the people to understand like what the meanings are, because that's really how you create emotional connection with the community. And we didn't just want people to invest because of maybe the potential of flipping or the potential of a price point. It was really like you were supposed to create emotional connection because of the asset you're actually looking at. So Flowscore really did that, and at the same time gave you a value system that made you understood what it was. And it was phenomenal for us, right? We saw lots of traffic, lots of people actually like getting different assets, and again, not based on like even the score, but that maybe matched the storytelling of the assets they already had. Some more people bought actually into the project. We also saw actually like higher value perception of the assets, that people actually listed or sold them even or bought them for 6 times the initial mint price, and really created like a great sensation in the community. And we were like, hey, if this works for us, because we were just talking about blueprinting and packaging it, right? We were like, let's do this for the bigger ecosystem, right? And since we already were really well connected with other founders and people in the space, we really started like having these conversations, like the guys from Crypto Pharaohs, Hussein, and the entire team. And we're like, what do you guys think about it, right? And I think the biggest essence where we really built on, and again, Hussein kind of hit on that, was creating bespoke value systems for projects, right? Because most of the existing so to speak, value system that exists at other chains are kind of using an algorithm, right? And it's kind of like they take the data, they take it in, and it doesn't matter what kind of project you are, you kind of just get a very like boxed in solution, right? And we actually want to establish 3 archetypes, which we actually did now. One was obviously like alt trade based systems, and that would be something like Crypto Pharaohs, that would be something like ourselves, that would be also something like Bubbles, right? And blocks. And then we also had the second archetype, which were actually like gaming, like projects that are ready for gaming. So they have like skill points. There would be something like your ballers. There would be something like drivers, right? So for drivers, when we onboarded drivers, we made a completely bespoke value system for them that includes all their values for like stamina and mental and like speed and acceleration and braking. And they have numbers for that, like 0 to 100, right? because they're going to build a game eventually. So we make them already game ready with a value system that again generates a score. And now the last archetype we're actually working on is kind of like edition-based systems, which would be your NFL All Day, NBA Top Shot, Inspector Gadget, etc., that then again creates a like completely new value system for that, right? So I think that was really important for us to kind of go in and say like, hey, how can we provide value to these different projects? Don't just give them a flat solution. And most importantly, again, like Hussein like very kindly mentioned already, the value system is really only the foundation of Flowscore. It's really just like the beating heart of it and the engine. But what it really is at the end of the day is a community tool, right? It's like the second base for projects. So Jimbo, as you know, we built like bespoke project pages for each project we onboard. In fact, we have projects now, including like Crypto Pharaohs, creating like almost like unique content for the platform, like to promote their projects better. And again, the reason why we did that was we wanted to not just create like a occasion where people have to discover projects on marketplaces, because that's the main thing where you can really see most of it. And that doesn't really help, because if you look at transaction volume and some of these other metrics that matter for marketplace, doesn't really help you to get the deeper storytelling exactly projects like Crypto Pharaohs do. You don't get the brand story. You don't really see more visuals of it, right? It's very like short on those elements and very high on like the financial metrics. So we kind of wanted to flip that on its head and say like, hey, projects, you guys get a really great space to actually express yourself, tell your story, show your promotional assets, and really let the storytelling speak for yourself. And on the other hand, have actually like people who are new to the projects or new to Flow or whatever, actually have a way to see what these projects are all about, and actually also see at the same time the collectors that hold it, right? And honestly, the reason why we did it was to really get more exposure to these projects and build them up and really create a community around it. And we are really happy now what we are seeing, because, and don't count me on that, don't quote me on that, Jimbo, but on average right now, any project that has been onboarded on Flowscore has seen a 10% increase in community sales, etc., since they actually joined. That was also very important to us to actually track that and see what positive impact they have. And now it's really more like conversations like, how can we bring impact and energy to the communities, right? And that includes the projects, like I just said, by really setting them up to understand their community better, setting them up to really promote their project in the beauty and the richness and the time they really put in it. And on the collector side, we really wanted to, we almost say like we wanted to take away the wallet gating and really have more meta flexing going on, as we call it. If you invested your time and money to really buy into these projects and the ecosystem, we want you to showcase that, right? And that's really what we did with the inventory, with the NFT profile, where we have your trophy room. It really becomes like, if Instagram at one point was the expression of your real life, like where you eat, what you drive, what you wear, what your hobbies are, Flowscore really becomes your digital cultural identity. And it really shows like the projects you are into, even the categories you like, if it's collectibles, if it's sports, if it's gaming, and really tells like a really rich story around you as a user as well. Like if I go to Jimbo's profile, I know, okay, Jimbo's is in collectibles, Hawaiian culture, and shorts. So at that point, I get a great sum of that user, right? And at the same time, we also reward that kind of investment, right? So what we're actually doing now as the next level is we now obviously have a ranking system, which you, Jimbo, probably noticed now. We are not just ranking projects anymore. We are also ranking collectors. And that's very much on purpose, because we want to get to a level now that we're going to reward and elevate collectors to a level that you have seen maybe through creators in Web 2 and influencers, but we are pretty much creating kind of like a similar archetype right now for Web 3. And yeah, so that's kind of like a quick sum up of where we are. And then I have maybe some future talk for you as well, maybe some minor alpha, but just some ideas what we just some ideas what we're gonna do next.
I knew that A word was coming. No, I mean, Stefan, it's real easy to say when I listen to you speak, Brandon speak, Anyone in that, your whole circle, as well as again the project you've partnered with, it's pretty simple to understand the tremendous value you bring a project. There's no doubt about it. I remember when working with blocks when we were looking into Rarity Sniper, and it just didn't make sense with the complexity of the traits over there. And then I just noticed the lack of passion from them, and I was like, the first thing I thought was, man, I wish there was someone with more passion. and then we met, and I've just been blown away ever since. Just by your passion to bring value to projects and understanding the story that's behind, or rather within, the metadata. Yeah, I mean, there's stories to be told in complex metadata. Like you said, whether it's a future game, whether it's attributes or points or whatever, there is stories to be told in complexity of metadata, and you're here to handle it. So my question is, if you wanted to talk a little bit about, obviously the projects up to this point, we kind of touched on a little bit, obviously drivers, blocks, we got to, and so as you're onboarding Crypto Pharaohs, baubles, that stuff. By the way, side note, the trophy case is freaking rad. I love that you're building content into the storylines, right? That helps a ton, and it's so cool. So, obviously, I don't know how much you could share with like who you're working with in the near future, but I'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I actually want to say for the guys like from Crypto Pharaohs again, we saw so much synergy there again because we are right now, Jimbo, we said it before, we are scaling very consciously right now in a way, right? We wanted to make sure that we onboard projects that are into Flow for the long run, that are dedicated to their community, and we because we're also kind of like a gatekeeper in that sense for the community in Flow as a whole, right? And we really saw all of that combined with Crypto Pharaohs, so we were really happy to get them on board. And one thing we actually did for them, just to mention it quick, we actually did some bespoke trades for them specifically that are unique to Flowscore. If that's like the demigod booster, or even being able to search now by their name. So again, hopefully to grow Crypto Pharaohs to their incredible potential they're gonna have, and and building that out. But yeah, since you asked about next stuff, so one alpha I can give you roughly, it's more like a math equation, to be honest. And it's funny because I'm not I talk a lot about data, but I'm really more about storytelling. But what we're really looking at next is we set ourselves some internal goals, which we're actually really happy about where we are going right now. So currently we have about 20,000 collectibles onboarded on the platform, and across the communities we have about 500 plus dedicated. And again, Jimbo, keep in mind, right? Like Web3 for us is not about volume user sign up necessarily. It's about actually high value users that are dedicated to the space, which we tremendously believe way more in than just creating a big volume right now. So we have about 500 users that are dedicated to the platform on a daily basis right now. But I just mentioned 20,000 assets on the platform. Here's my alpha. Probably within a week or so, we will have 50 times more assets on the platform than the 20. So we have 50x the amount of assets we are currently having. So with that, you probably have a good idea of what size of projects we're going to onboard. But yeah, so we are definitely ongoing. We're actually building. That's also something we like to do. And Hussein was just talking about the power of collaboration. Every time we onboard a new project, they normally get a unique feature we didn't have before, because we really understand with a project that it's needed, right? And again, what you just said, metadata as a tool to understand the community better. We get now insights of like, hey, this is what the Crypto Pharaohs community really cares about. They want to see the birth year. They want to see the kingdom. They want to see the name. They care about the blood type, right? Let's incorporate tools that make it easier to navigate that, right? Drivers, we knew it was all about the teams, right? Let's lean more into that. And even with that new project we are onboarding, we got a lot of insights about the community and how they like to navigate and what they like to search for and what really matters to them. And again, building tools out of that. I think in the future, honestly, Jimbo, we are getting actually to a good critical mass now with like assets and onboarding. I think the next step will be also to add more ownership features to the collectors, adding more third-party integration and toolkits for projects. That could be things like more tools to keep their community engaged. There could be more tools to actually have gaming simulators built into the platform that are plug and play. That could be extension to marketplaces and merchandise opportunities. So it really becomes now the blueprint on the consumer side as well as on the project side to grow it. Yeah, that's where we're really going. And I mean, you know, Jimbo, we started right like 3 months ago building it, right? So we are building fast and furious to to get through the winter and then like just get going and have everything ready for all of you guys and whoever else wants to join, you know.
Yeah, you're just like it's so funny that this is like you're close, midway through the event because all the projects leading up to this, it's kind of been a theme, Stefan, is everybody's trying to help each other, like genuinely, like every goal of all these projects is how do we make each other great, and I love that that's just the central focus really of your platform. And again, you built that sneakerhead community. Again, you're some real guys, man. I'm really happy we got a chance to cross paths. And again, I mean, all these people I've talked to, I would describe as revolutionaries at heart, and I don't think anything less of you. Do you see kind of the focus and the work you're putting in and what you're learning to be part of that like structural change society needs?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we all are on a joint mission. In fact, we just talked to another project the other day, and we were like, they were just looking for good energy to keep going, right? Like even sometimes if we have these conversations, it's really that and it resonated earlier with me what Hussein said as well of like looking from the outside in and seeing how certain things on a society level, on an environmental level, etc., are going. I think there are interesting things to enhance the good in the world, but also bring some joy and excitement back. And I think, Jimbo, we had to make a decision too, right? Like, do we keep on just being insular and build our thing, right? Or do we really want to open up our arms and build something that has a bigger impact, right? We didn't know at that point if the Flow community would resonate with it, if other projects would be interested even to join, right? Because we were unknown, unproven thing, right? So at this point, we really appreciate anybody who comes on. And yes, it's absolutely our thing. I think Web3 still has to prove a lot, right? Jimmy, we talk about that all the time. Like, this is actually a new, refreshing era to build something of value and utility, and hopefully also bring some good back through the communities we are actually building that have been dedicated not just through the highs when everybody was successful and made money and was on the top of it, but especially through the times we are having now where you see the true dedication. And I think the outside world can actually learn a lot from those community behaviors we have right now on Flow. And if we can amplify that. And one thing I want to say as well is, like, you were talking about like real life celebration and engagement. That's definitely something we actually have very much in the future right now as well, to really bring some of those storytelling, that sensations we have on the platform, and really bring that out to the real world so people can see it and hopefully maybe get excited about it and maybe learn from it and also get a little bit better at the same time,
Yeah, that's the sentiment I can echo for nonstop, man. Is that I think the outside world does have a lot to learn from this. I will say over the last decade or so of my life, even deeper than that, I've always found it interesting to kind of jump into a community and learn it and learn to embrace it, learn about it. And this community has taught me so much. It has been so fun. Genuinely, like this is why, and both of the gentlemen on stage right now, it's just like when I see FUD or negativity on Twitter, I'm just like, I think to myself internally, like, where are you looking? Because everywhere I see these projects going, for the most part, is just like so mind blowing, and I'm so excited that you have that area of growth that you can be that help for a lot of these projects. You said 10% increase in sales when they're on there. Like I said, you're helping them tell their story. There's so many projects I see with potential for you onboarding. Congratulations on the 50x. I can't wait to hear about it. I'm super stoked, and I can't wait to find out who you're going to be repping with the next party, because I know it's going to be someone major. And again, we're always here to support you, Stefan. A true artist, man. It is always a pleasure to speak with you, and yeah, I can't wait to work even closer.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jimbo. And like I said, I see you again this weekend. So this is not the last time. And
yeah, we'll drop that alpha again. Gamesodes Inspector Gadget is hosting a party in 2 days, on the 30th to the 31st. We're doing another 24-hour party. I got to get rest tomorrow because holy shit, I got another 24-hour bash going on. But we don't
you guys
stop.
Meeting in person? Like you're meeting in person? Or?
No, with the Gamesodes Discord server. Yeah, I wish we were meeting in person.
We only meet once a year normally, Jimbo. But
yeah,
Jimbo
he has to come this way next time. He has to come this way. I told him I did not enjoy the New York visit, so come to Hawaii. I'll show you around. But yeah, we're doing Gamesodes Halloween party. Couple cool little things. There's going to be like and that's what I think you guys are a part of kind of like a live art demonstration or a live demonstration of a platform. So that Davis helped. He really scheduled a really fun party for Sunday. So I'm going to be doing a lot less of the planning and more of the hosting. Whereas this party was kind of all encompassing: planning, hosting, organizing. So I'm excited to actually party a lot more on Sunday with you, Stefan, and Hussein. I know you're busy in Dubai, so if you're bored and jump on your phone and we're partying, come party. I do want to give you the last minute, Stefan, to just kind of give a call to action to Flowscore. How can we come support your platform?
Yeah, absolutely. And we got shout out to Cam as well, who's running all our community and social engagement. Yeah, so like Hussein said earlier, we definitely have a giveaway running right now, a joint giveaway. If you check out, obviously follow Crypto Pharaohs first and foremost. Join the Discord, go on their Twitter, check out their project page. Our Twitter's also Flowscore NFT, right? So like I said, we're running the giveaway right now. And yeah, the number one thing we really want to see, even if you don't have a current project that is featured on Flowscore, it would be great if you sign up and already get your inventory and your NFT profile set up, because rest assured, we're going to onboard more projects. And if you already have some of the 6-7 projects we have onboarded, would be super exciting for you guys to sign up. It automatically updates your inventory. It shows all your assets, so you never have to look in your Dapper, Blockto, or Lilyco wallet again. It will all automatically pull it into one. And yeah, so just check that out. Crypto Pharaohs on Twitter, Flowscore NFT on Twitter as well as flowscorenft.com. And again, Crypto Pharaohs is live. Check out their site, check out their amazing artwork. And yeah, that's kind of like where you find us. Or anywhere where Jimbo is, so either way.
Even in a stalkerish manner, I'm okay with it. Well, both of you gentlemen, I genuinely appreciate it. Your time here it's so much fun chatting with both of you again. Two incredible projects. I'm looking forward to continuing following. And again, we'll meet again Sunday, Stefan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the recording and then make a little announcement for everybody here.
Thank you so much.